Guys, let's go ahead and start. Welcome to the Miracle Center. So good to be back. Been traveling a little bit with Greg and our daughter Aria. And let's just go ahead by starting with just a couple of minutes of becoming present, breathing, and we'll go from there. Get us in the right frame of mind to hear something we don't believe, but want to. All right. So if you haven't already, close your eyes and take a breath and just breathe. Ah, yes. And just allow your mind to come back home to the present moment. Just breathe it in. Feeling what it feels like to just be here right now. Right here, right now. And let's do the Holy Instant practice for a moment. Let's do the Holy Instant practice. And the Holy Instant practice is this. Take a breath and tell yourself, there is nowhere else that I need to be. There's nowhere else I need to be right now. Nowhere else I need to be right now. There's nothing else I need to be doing right now than to be present to this holy instant. Because contained in this holy instant now is all the sustenance, all the peace, and all the protection that I could ever need. This holy instant now, do we give to you, Spirit of truth and healing? Be you in charge. But we would follow you, Spirit of truth and healing within us, because we are certain, because we have learned that your direction does bring us peace. I'll just breathe in this holy instant now. Take this holy instant now and see it as all there is of time. There's nowhere else I need to be right now. Nothing else I need to be doing right now. All I need to do is be present to this holy instant now, knowing that this holy instant now contains all the sustenance, all the peace, and all the protection that I could ever need. Thank you, God. All right. So when you're ready, just take a breath and bring your awareness on back. Yeah. The holy instant practice. Practicing the holy instant. That's what we're doing. All right, you guys. So where we're going to be today is in the workbook in lesson 76. I am under no laws but God's. Yes, last night or a couple nights ago, I was watching some stuff that was going on in the world. And instead of doing what I often do, which is like, holy crap. What I did was I said, Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit is me again. Holy Spirit, what is it that you would have me do to help bring peace to this world, to this planet? What is it you would have me teach on Sunday to help people feel like whatever craziness is going on in the world, I have a source of peace and sustenance and protection that cannot fail? What do you want me to do on Sunday to help people to remember that while when they're going through any kind of chaos or whatever, right? And immediately this lesson came into my mind. Immediately, boom, do that. And I've titled this class, let me pull up the title, because that shows us what this is about. And I titled this, Your Statement of Freedom from All Danger and All Tyranny. This is your statement for freedom from all tyranny, just in case you see any of that going around, and all danger of any kind. Okay, so this is your declaration of independence from any force that would like to exert tyranny over you or endanger you in any way. This is your statement of freedom. This is your declaration of independence, your real one, okay? From anything that would seem to limit you, from anything that would seem to enslave you, from anything that would seem to endanger you. This is your declaration of independence from that. This is your statement of freedom. And it is, I am under no laws but God's. I'm not under the laws that were made up by man. Okay, I am not under the laws that were made up by man, the laws that limit and imprison. I don't know if you've noticed, but the laws of this world, they kind of imprison. They kind of limit you. They tell you where you can go, what you can do, what you deserve, and what you have to do in order to experience heaven or safety or abundance. This is what you got to do. Here's the deal. You got to work at doing something that you hate. You got to sacrifice your freedom and your innocence to have love. But you got to give up something if you want something. For starters, those are some of the laws of the world. They're all based on earning and sacrificing. Here's what you got to give up in order to have something. Okay, all the laws of the world are based on limitation and sacrifice. Here, and it's all exchange based. What we've learned about God in our religions is that God is always ready to strike a bargain. That, if you want to get into heaven, you got to make a deal with God. God's got these laws and got these rules of exchange. God's like, if you want to get into heaven, here's what you got to do. Here's what you got to give up. Here's what you got to sacrifice. Here's the rules you got to follow. And here's the rules you got to obey. And it's a big, thick book of laws. Have you ever noticed how thick our religious books are?
Never changes.
Very thick book of laws. Here's what you got to do to make a deal with God. And then here's what you got to do to make a deal with love. If you got to make a deal to get God's love, then you certainly got to make a deal to get humanly love. You got to give up something. Okay, that's the laws. So all the laws of the world are based on loss and sacrifice and an exchange of some kind. So we're going to hear today about the laws of God. And spoiler alert, they are exactly the opposite of all the laws that the world seems to obey. Okay, all the laws of the world are what you have to do to earn your right to live. You got to earn your living. Okay? And also All the laws of the world are based on there's only so much. Everybody can't have everything. And so in order to have something, you got to lose something. In order for some people to have, some people got to lose. So all the laws of the world are based on limit, lack, loss, and sacrifice. Okay. Now we're going to hear about the laws of God, okay, which are not based on any of that. All right. Say hello to my folks online. Okay. Hi, Jean. Lovely to see you. And Diana Dimples already. Okay. Lesson 76. I am under no laws but God's. We have observed before how many senseless things have seemed to you to be salvation. Okay. These are all the things that I think will save me. Okay. Power, fame, money, physical pleasure, etc., etc. Okay. All the things I think will save me. And notice all the things I think will save me. Okay. And he calls them senseless things. All the things I think will save me, he calls senseless things. And then it says, and by the way, each one of these things that I thought would save me, they have imprisoned us with laws as senseless as those things themselves. Everything that I think will save me outside of myself has actually only imprisoned me. With what? With laws that are as senseless as the things themselves. So if I thought money was going to save me, now money imprisons me and imprisons me with all the laws around money. You know, all the laws around money, starting with you're going to have to do something you don't want to do to get it. And next law, there's not enough to go around. And next law, you need it to survive. Okay, all those laws around money are just as senseless as money itself. Okay, everything you outside of you that you think is going to save you will actually imprison you with a bunch of laws that are just as senseless as that thing itself. Okay, and don't worry, we're going to go through all those many things that we think can save us. Okay. Okay. So then it says, you are not bound by any of these laws that you think will save you. Any of the laws around the senseless things that you think will save you, you are not bound by those laws. Like, for instance, if you think that money will save you, then you will be bound by all the laws of economics. Okay. And boy, are there a lot of those, okay? So it says, but to understand that you're not bound by the laws of economics or medicine or health or whatever, to understand you're not bound by these laws, these worldly laws, you must first realize that your salvation does not lie within these things. If you want to realize I'm not under the laws of economics, that's not true for me, that unless I sacrifice like this and do this that I don't want to do, I will not have money and then I will starve. If I'm going to recognize that and accept that, I've got to realize that my salvation doesn't lie in money. Money can't save me. Money can't make me happy. Money can't make me happy. Money can't save me. And this is just one example, okay? One of the senseless things that I think will save me, that I have now bound myself to a bunch of senseless laws in order to have. Okay? So if I'm going to realize that I'm not bound by any of these senseless laws, then I have to realize that my salvation, my freedom, my safety does not lie in that thing. If I want to see I'm not bound by money, the laws of economics, or the old laws of economics, I have to realize that my salvation doesn't lie in that thing, in the money. Okay? Now, that's the first thing that we have to realize. Why? Because while we seek for our freedom in things that have no meaning, we are going to be binding ourselves to laws that make no sense. what we're going to be doing if we're seeking for our freedom and things that can't free us, we are going to be seeking to prove that our freedom is where it's not. So when I'm seeking for my freedom and my peace and my safety and my joy in places where it cannot be found, all I'm going to be doing is binding myself to more laws that are senseless, and I'm going to be seeking to prove that my freedom and happiness is where it's not. Okay. Now, imagine my frustration. Imagine my depression. When my goal is to seek to prove that my freedom and my safety is where it's not. And that's where all of our depression comes from. That's where all of our despair comes from. It comes from we're trying to prove that our happiness and our freedom is where it's not. And that's what I'm seeking after it, and I'm seeking after it, and I'm trying to get it, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm trying to follow this law to get it, and trying to follow this law to get it, and then I get it, and then I'm still not happy. I still don't feel safe. Still don't have enough. Okay? First, that's where our frustration and our despair comes from. Yes, Andres, did you want to say something?
I was going to say, you just said that.
Thank you. Right on. You can always interrupt to say that. All right.
Because that's what it feels like, right? Like you just did the act, like you were talking,
yeah.
And we're lost in that. That's exactly what it feels.
Yeah. It's so that what could be more depressing than trying to seek for your happiness and your freedom and your release and your joy where you could never find it, you know? And the Course in Miracles tells us that if you were looking for happiness and abundance and safety and security where it's really found, then you would be guaranteed to be happy. So it's not like there's a loss or a lack of happiness or abundance or joy in the world. There's not. The world is abundance. That's what it is. There is no lack. There's no loss in the universe. So if you're experiencing lack or loss or need that can't be fulfilled, it can only be because you're looking for it where it can't be found. Because there is no loss. That's one of the laws of God. One of the laws of God is there's no lack. That's a law. No lack law. No lack law. No lack law. Should I run for president? Yeah. I say no lack law.
You have a shirt for it.
What'd you say?
Have a shirt for it.
I just have a shirt for it, yes. No lack law. Yes, I'd be starting the No Defense Initiative. We believe, my platform is you don't need to defend yourself to be safe.
There is the divine revolution.
That's the divine revolution. As divine revolutionists, that's what we're saying. We don't need to defend ourselves to experience safety. We don't need any defense. We don't need an overblown, multi-trillion dollar military to keep us safe.
Right.
That military doesn't keep us safe. Notice it really just goes around the world and takes over countries and steals their resources. That's what it really does. Right. What keeps us safe is looking for happiness and abundance and joy and safety where it can actually be found.
Yes.
That's what keeps us abundant and safe and happy. And thank you, Course in Miracles, for teaching us that. That wasn't my idea, obviously. That's why I love teaching A Course in Miracles, because I didn't write it. So, I wish I did. I really wish I did, but sometimes I'm glad I didn't, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to stand up here and tell it to you with a straight face. I'd be like, oh God, you're not gonna like this, but but now I can go, well, I didn't write it, so.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Don't shoot the messenger, exactly. And you shoot me, look, you got this book still here. Okay, So now it looks like we're on paragraph 2. So it says, today we will be glad that you cannot prove that happiness and freedom is where it's not. You can't prove it, even though you've been trying. Because if you could prove that your happiness and your freedom was where it's not, then you would forever be seeking for freedom where it is not. And you would never find it. Oh, that's why I haven't found it. Because I've just been seeking for it where it's not. Okay. The idea for today tells you once again how simple is your freedom. Look for freedom where it waits for you, and there it will be found. So simple. Duh. I know one of the problems of studying A Course in Miracles is that sometimes I just feel really stupid. You know, I'm just like, oh my God, that's so obvious. I can't believe I didn't see that. I can't believe I had to have something tell me that. Okay, so what is it saying here? It's saying this idea tells you once again how simple is freedom, joy, abundance, happiness. Just look for it where it's waiting for you, and there it will be found. In other words, look nowhere else, because your freedom is nowhere else. So if I haven't found the freedom, if I haven't found the love, if I haven't found the joy, if I haven't found the abundance yet, it's not because I'm a loser and I don't deserve it for some reason. At least that's what I was told. But only that I'm just not looking in the right place. That's all. That's all. Isn't that great news?
That's excellent.
I'm not a failure. I'm not a loser at the game of life like I thought I was, like I was told I was. I just was looking in the wrong place. Good news. Now I have some hope. Now I have some hopefulness. I really could be happy. I really could be free. I really could. I really have hope now. I really can be. I just was looking in the wrong place. Okay. So think of the freedom in the recognition that you are not bound by all the strange and twisted laws that you have set up to save yourself. What have I set up to save myself? Some strange and twisted laws. Okay, well, let's review a few of the strange and twisted laws, shall we, that we believe will save us, shall we? Okay. Here's the first strange and twisted law. Ready? Okay. You really think that you would starve unless you have stacks of green paper strips and piles of metal discs and some plastic. Don't forget the plastic. This was written in the mid 1960s,
Right.
before the plastic came around. The really fake money. Yeah, the fake paper and then the fake plastic. Okay. Okay. That was strange and twisted law that we have set up to save us, that we think will save us, is that we think we would starve if we didn't have stacks of green paper strips and piles of metal discs. Okay. Does anybody know that was a strange and twisted law? Okay. Isn't that good to hear that that is not true? Isn't that a big relief? It's not a law, it's not a universal law that if I don't have stacks of green paper strips and metal discs that I'm going to starve. That's not a law.
Right.
We have to tell ourselves these crazy things. That's not a law. That's a strange and twisted belief that we have set up ourselves. Isn't that crazy? Okay, ready for strange and twisted law number 2.
Yeah.
As if that wasn't strange and twisted enough. Okay. Strange and twisted law number 2. You really think a small pellet, round pellet, or some fluid pushed into your vein through a sharpened needle will ward off disease and death. Don't we? I'd like check number 1 and check number 2, you know? Okay, that was that if I don't have a fluid or a pellet pushed into my veins through a sharpened needle. Can't say the word or else I'll get censored on YouTube. That I will get a disease or die.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Isn't that good to hear that that's just a strange and twisted law? Okay, that's what we call the so-called laws of medicine. So we just heard about the strange so-called laws of finance, and now we're hearing about the strange and twisted so-called laws of medicine. Okay, great. Then it says, here's the third strange and twisted law that we think will save us. And that is, you really think you are alone unless another body is with you. Check, check, check to all of those. And which totally understands the depression, the despair, the fear, the panic that I sometimes experience. And all of it, of course, around the body. Apparently, I think if I save the body, I save myself. It's all about the body. I'm always trying to save my body, save my body. Apparently, the body is extremely fragile. I don't know if you've noticed.
And costly.
And expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, if we are our bodies, we have every reason to be terrified every single second of the day and night. If we are our bodies, then we are the most fragile, vulnerable thing that could ever be, and we have every reason to be terrified all the time. And that's why we are terrified.
One of the things that I love about this, as you were reading, so for a long time I worked with indigenous peoples and through an international organization. And one of the axioms that I work with is it's only true if it has absolutely no opposition.
I love it.
Otherwise, it's
Yes.
perspective.
That's right. Very good.
And so I could see every one of these, the indigenous groups that I worked with did not have these beliefs,
Indeed.
right? They live off the land. They don't use monetary exchange. They certainly don't use
The medicine
feudal,
system.
right?
That's
And
right.
so that was for me this affirmation that these are strange and twisted laws.
Yes.
When there are peoples around the globe who
Yes.
do not do these things.
Exactly. Thank you. That's a really great point. Yeah. The Course in Miracles defines something that's true as something that is true for everyone in all space and time. That is the only definition of something that's true. Is it universal? And is there no exception universally? And so, you can take whatever belief you have and put it through that truth test, that reality test to see whether it's actually true, right? Like, is it universally true that unless people have stacks of paper, strips, and metal discs, they will starve? Is that universally true?
No.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's true for me. I have no paper strips and metal discs, and I haven't starved yet, obviously. I've proven that one's true every day. You're welcome. Okay, Jean says, you mean my government isn't going to make me safe? That's a good one, Jean. Okay. Then, so the three strange and twisted laws that we just reviewed was the strange and twisted laws of economics we made up that says if you don't have money, you'll starve. The second strange and twisted law was that if you don't get a small round pellet or fluid pushed into your veins through a sharpened needle, then you will get a disease and you'll die. And the third one was that you are alone unless another body is with you. These are, and then that's the strange and twisted laws of what the course calls reciprocal relationships. Okay, so we got economics, medicine, and relationships, and we just heard the strange and twisted laws that we have set up to save us. We set up laws of economics thinking that would save us. We set up laws of medicine thinking that would save us, and we've set up laws for relationships that we thought would save us.
Right.
If I just got the right person
That's right.
in the right body,
Yeah.
then I would be saved. And how's that working out for us? Okay, great. One liar in the back. Fabulously. That's why I'm here. I wouldn't be here in this course class if it was really working out for me. I wouldn't need a course in miracles.
Right.
Okay. If that really was working out for us as well as they say it will. Okay. And then now in paragraph 3, it is insanity that thinks these things. Us believing all those strange and twisted laws that would set things that would save us, that's insanity. That thinks that those things will save us. That's our insanity. Okay. Only insane people think stuff like that will save them. Okay, I guess that means I'm insane. And then you're with me, so you must be insane too. Yes.
Well, it also means that we were born into it.
That's right, exactly. That's it. Yes,
These are the only things that I knew
that's right.
that I was taught until.
Course in Miracles. Thank you very much. Exactly. Exactly. And so we are insane and we're innocent because, like Matt reminded us, we're all born into it. And also, Course in Miracles actually says that the Course in Miracles doesn't say that you're turned insane because you were raised by insane people. The Course in Miracles says, no, you came here because you were insane. Let that sink in for a moment.
Yeah.
Only insane people come here.
Only.
I know.
But that doesn't mean you can't wake up while you're here and help other people to wake up to sanity while you're here. You know, just because you came here because you wanted to have the thrilling experience of being able to die. Like, I love wanting to go to Disney World. I don't see what it's like to die a million different ways. Oh, and I'll die like this lifetime, and I'll come back and I'll die like this, and I'll come back and I'll die like that. Oh, it'd be so fun. It's the Disneyland of death. In other words, insanity. So it's insanity that believes that these things outside of you will save you, will make you happy, will make you safe, will make you free from limitation. It's insanity that thinks these things. Now, you call them laws, and you put them under different names in a long catalog of rituals that have no use and serve no purpose. Okay? That's what we do. For instance, you think that you must obey these so-called laws of medicine, of economics, and the so-called laws of health. In other words, you really think that if you protect the body, you will be saved.
Right.
Well, that's insanity. That's insanity. But because we have been trying to follow those laws, obey those laws, so that we can feel safe, we have not experienced real safety. We have not experienced real happiness. We have not experienced real abundance. We have not experienced real love and real joy because we have been seeking to obey those laws, thinking they will keep us happy, safe, abundant, and healthy. That's why we're not healthy and abundant, and that's why we don't feel safe. That's why we don't feel free. I thought it was because of my crazy government. How about you? All of them.
All of them.
Because you know there's just one now. So I thought that the reason I wasn't free and happy and abundant and healthy was because of my government and what they're doing, or what they're spraying from the skies, or what they're fill in the blank. Okay. But according to this, I'm not feeling safe and happy and free because I am seeking for that outside of myself in things. Wow.
Hallelujah.
I am under no laws but God's. I am sustained by the love of God within me, not things outside of me. Yes, Kelly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's really, like, I had tears in my eyes. It really struck me because I'm working on me as a person in relationships, and I feel insecure and anxious.
Mm-hmm.
You said you've not experienced real safety.
Mm-hmm.
Like every Sunday, this breaks me open, and that just in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
That just
Yeah.
really broke me.
Mhm.
I recognize that, and no one's ever said that to me.
Right.
You know?
Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really
Mhm.
not even eye opening, but like more than heart opening. So
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, you know, A Course in Miracles is telling us the most, to us, strange thing. And it's like this. You don't need to earn your right to live. You don't need to earn your living. You don't need to do anything you don't need to earn feeling safe. You don't have to work to do something to feel safe. You don't need to earn that feeling of being supported and supplied. You don't have to prove anything in order to have the peace and the safety and the love and the joy. That is your inheritance. That is your reality that was created by God. And all the laws of the world is what you have to do to earn it. All of them are what you have to do to earn it. You don't deserve to be supported doing what makes you happy. You have to earn it. You have to earn being supported by doing something that you hate. We believe we have to earn our living, earn our right to survival. We believe we have to sacrifice in order to receive love. So that's what all the laws are about. What your limits are. There's a limit on your happiness. There's a limit on how much love and joy you deserve. And if you want it, then you have to, here's a rule book. So here's the rules and laws you got to obey. See how thick it is? You better get to it. Because there's a lot of laws you got to obey if you want to even have the hope of happiness.
I hope you're better than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Take a breath. So deep. Yeah. So again, it says those laws that we just talked about, those strange and twisted laws that we think we have to obey to have happiness, abundance, safety, peace, and joy. These are not laws. They are madness. That's psychopathic madness. Only a psychopathic madman would go, well, if you want to live, you have to work. Only a psychopathic maniac would tell you, you have to earn your right to live, you slave, and you're guilty. Only a psychopathic madman would make laws like that.
Right.
And try to enslave you like that. So those aren't laws, that's madness. And thank God, those are not the laws of God. Okay. Now it's going to tell you something that's going to be really hard to believe.
Startling.
Okay. So it's going to be startling. It's going to be hard to believe, and you may actively resist. If I see anybody fall out their chair, I'll be like, oh, somebody's actually actively resisting. Okay.
Tricia is going on in chat saying how perfect this class is, and you need to say it loud and proud.
I love it. Trisha says, I'm crying. My soul heard you. I am free. Wow. Thank you, Trisha. Beautiful. Okay. Would you say Insaniacs Anonymous? That should be the name of our Tuesday group. Insaniacs Anonymous, IA. Instead of AI, it's IA. Insaniacs Anonymous. That's what I'm going to start calling it instead of a course class. Okay. My name is Anna and I'm insane. I believe all tons of strange and twisted laws that to save me. I am sitting here trying to find my happiness and abundance by obeying the laws of a psychopathic maniac. Yes, I am.
Thank you all for joining my addiction.
Thank you. Thank you for witnessing my insanity. Even though I know you all already did. Just tell me. Okay. These are not laws. These are madness. Okay. The body is endangered. Thank you, Spirit. A spirit singer sneezing right next to me. The body is endangered by what? Only by the mind that hurts itself. I really did think that my body was endangered by something else. Everything else besides my mind.
Right.
You know, it's the weather, it's the chemtrails, it's the fill in the blank. The body is endangered by the mind that hurts itself. Okay? Now, don't worry, don't strain your brain. We all know you don't believe that. We all don't strain your brain. Don't be like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I don't believe that at all. Hope you can't tell. The body is endangered by the mind that hurts itself. The body suffers only in order that our mind will fail to see it is the victim of itself. Yes.
All pain is self-inflicted.
Indeed, that's right. And so here we are trying to protect the body with a ton of strange and twisted laws, trying to protect the body from endangering the body, having no idea that the body isn't endangered by any of those things. My body isn't endangered by the climate. My body isn't endangered by whatever they're putting in the water supply. My body isn't endangered by what they're dropping from the sky. My body isn't endangered by that. My body isn't endangered by my genetics. My body ultimately isn't endangered by what I'm eating. According to this, my body is endangered by my mind that is hurting itself, attacking itself. My body is suffering so that my mind will fail to see that my mind is the victim of itself. Now, raise your hand if you don't believe this. Thank you. Okay. Raise your hand if you want to believe that. Okay. Because if you do choose to believe that, then now you don't need to be a slave to all those strange and twisted laws that tell you what you need to do to keep your body safe.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Right.
Now talk about freedom. How much more time would you have in the day to do things you enjoy if you weren't all day long trying to follow strange and twisted laws for how to keep your body safe? Oh my God, I'd have all the time in the world and I'd have all the money in the world.
Safe,
I would have so much more money and so much more time.
safe from what? Brenda? Safe from what?
From the endangerment of the body. The body is only endangered by the mind that attacks itself. Okay. But I am spending all my money and all my time trying to keep my body safe by following all these strange and twisted laws about keeping the body safe that are all expensive, by the way, and all time consuming. Yes.
Well, I just wanted to tie in that there's a method in the madness of keeping us distracted with all
Yes.
these laws
That's right.
and of maintaining the body and
Yes.
believing my salvation somehow comes through the body.
Yep.
And that is to convince me to never ask the question, what am I a body or am I mind?
Exactly.
It's all a smokescreen to
Yes.
keep me from actually realizing that I'm a mind,
Mhm.
and that when my mind is healed and whole, it cannot possibly attack itself.
Yep.
Only illusions can be divided and attack itself.
Exactly.
But the ego doesn't want us to look at that.
That's exactly
why it made up all of these laws
That's right.
to keep us looking everywhere but up
In our
in our
mind.
mind.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And so you said the body is, or the suffering is a smokescreen, and the word it uses here is the body's suffering is a mask.
Right.
What if you were to say that about your suffering today? This suffering that I'm experiencing right now is a mask. This suffering, this pain in here, right here, this financial pain is a mask to hide what's really suffering within me. It's not my body. It's my mind. And why is my mind suffering? Because it's attacking itself. And how does our mind attack itself? We give ourselves guilt all day long. We give ourselves shame all day long. We go, you should have been, you should have that, you should be doing this, and you should be doing that, and you should be doing this. Or look what they have, look what they have. All day long, our mind is attacking itself with shame and guilt and inadequacy, on, attacking our minds all day long. And then going, why is my body suffering? Why are my relationships suffering? Why is my financial situation suffering? Gee, it's because of our government. Bad government. Yes.
So 8% of our emotions are stored in our body. So it's a lot of what you're saying is we think, and then we create this result in our body.
That's right. Yes.
Because of the reason.
That's exactly right. The Course in Miracles literally calls the body the vault where we store our memories. You know, and what memories? Memories of lack, memories of pain, memories of who did it to me again. Yeah.
So having just spent the last week in the hospital
Yes.
with a grandson who was appendix burst,
Okay.
I'm looking at this and saying, and you know, how is this true?
Yes, right.
How is this true? And one of the things I forget, and I think we generally tend to forget, is that we live in a sick-minded world
Indeed.
that believes in things
Yes.
like the flu that creates
Indeed.
appendicitis and
That's right.
right.
Mhm.
And so I have to be not only diligent of what I'm doing in my mind, but what I'm accepting as part of the sickness of the mind of the world.
Amen. That's right. Exactly. Exactly. For yourself and the world, because it's the same. You know, we like to see ourselves as separate from the world, but we're not. And I don't know if you were here earlier, but I was saying that people don't come here unless they're insane. So you don't come here unless you believe, you know, that you're a body and that in order to protect the body, you have to obey a long list of strange and twisted laws to keep your body safe.
Yeah, I just think that's one of the things that's hard for me to remember is that a lot of times I'm accepting false belief.
Yeah.
Not that's my actual belief,
Yes, right.
but because I see it as the norm of my society.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
It's norm to be sick.
That's right.
And so there's a low level belief that I let ride there that
Yes.
I didn't generate.
That's
I
right.
am unconscious of a long time.
That's right. Exactly. That's exactly right. Beautiful. Okay, so we need to tell ourselves this truth, even though we don't believe it yet, because the reason we need to tell ourselves this is because we don't believe it.
Right.
So don't wait till you believe something to use it. Don't wait till you believe the truth to use it. You know, if you believed the truth, you wouldn't need the Course in Miracles. You know, so don't wait till you go, oh, well, that makes sense. Don't wait for that to just say it and say it with a desire to believe that, to accept that. Okay. Okay. So then it says the body's suffering is a mask the mind holds up to hide what really suffers. Okay. I'm suffering physically, body, mind, or spirit, because I am hiding what's really suffering, which is my mind. Okay, why is it that my mind is suffering? Because I'm hurting my mind. I'm attacking my mind. The mind, when your body's suffering, your mind doesn't want to understand that your mind is its own enemy. In other words, that your mind is attacking itself and wants to die. That's where the suffering is coming from. All the suffering, body, mind, or spirit, all the suffering is coming because my mind is suffering because I've been attacking my mind with guilt all day long. And because I've been attacking my mind with guilt all day long, now my mind wants to die. Because what did we all learn about the cost of sin? We all learned, whatever religion we were raised in or no religion, we all learned that the cost of sin is death. And so if you feel guilty in any way, shape, or form, you unconsciously believe you deserve to die. And you are unconsciously asking for it, desiring it. And that's why your body's suffering, according to A Course in Miracles.
I don't think it's a mistake that in most religions, there's a lot of shame around the body.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
When
Yes.
the reality is that we're listening to what our bodies are telling us. It's telling us what our mind doesn't want to hear.
Yes, that's right.
Against our bodies, connect with it because it does hold your spirit.
Yeah,
It does hold
Yeah.
everything you need to know. But we've been taught
Exactly.
to ignore those signals and to hate our bodies.
Mhm. That's exactly right.
What would it look like to love our bodies into freedom?
Yes. That's a great question. In all of our religions, we're taught to hate our bodies. Our bodies need to be covered. They're sinful. Need lots of rules around the body. So many rules in our religions around the body. So many. And the truth is that the body is neutral, and it is just literally, according to what it's just saying, the body is literally just showing us what's going on in our minds. That's it. The body is completely neutral. All it's doing is showing us what we believe about our own self in our minds. That's it. Yes.
I don't even know if I can read this. So I'm reading lesson 51 recently, and it came to me that ego is autoimmunity. For dealing with autoimmune disease. And it still hasn't completely formed for me, but we're talking about the ego is trying to kill you, but it has to by showing these signs
Right.
that you are killing yourself, attacking yourself. It just felt like to me, like, oh, it's just like ego doing something.
Right.
Beating on itself, and the body's bearing the brunt of it.
Right, exactly. It's not the body It's not the body that's trying to kill us and wants to kill us, even though it seems like it. But it's the mind that's been attacking itself with sin and guilt for so long that now it feels like death would be a reprieve.
That's really scary.
The Course says, how lovely do the laws of fear make death appear.
Say that again.
How lovely do the laws of fear make death appear. So when you're in fear all day long and feeling bad about yourself, feeling like, oh, I should do this and I should be better at that. There's something wrong with me. I should be ashamed of myself. And why am I not like everybody else? That makes your mind so, it just like it just wants to die. But instead of me going, wow, I'm so full of guilt and shame that I think I would just like to die. I don't do that. I go, oh, my body. Oh, my stomach ache. Oh my God. Oh, now I have something that now I have to do this long laundry list of things to do to now protect my body from the thing my body has.
Stop doing that because that's weird. You think, do I run to the doctor and say,
Yes, I would, let me tell you what A Course in Miracles, the Course in Miracles does not say you should just don't ever go to doctors or don't ever take medicine. What the Course in Miracles says is that first you need to tell yourself something different.
Right.
And then schedule with your doctor. So don't try to heal your body before you have truly worked on your mind. And don't wait to go to the doctor until you have healed your mind.
Right.
The Course in Miracles advocates a compromise approach. It says if you try to heal your body solely by your mind before you actually believe that's true, your body might not make it.
Right.
Because that might take a while. So go get that medicine.
Well, and the compromise approach comes from the practical realization that our teachers trying to convey to us is that we, even if we don't believe it, we act as if our mind is split. I want to believe that this is true and that I can heal myself just by willing it.
Yes, right.
But if I'm honest with myself, there's a part of my mind that called bullshit.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And so the compromise approach is to do both.
That's exactly right. That's the compromise. And the Course in Miracles does say that. It uses those words. It says, should you only use your mind to try to heal your body at first? And it says no. Because if you try to heal your body just using your mind fully before you fully believe this, then all you're going to do is put yourself into a state of increased fear. And the Course in Miracles says all healing is the release from fear. So if like, I'm not going to go to the doctors and take any medicine, if that was something that would increase your fear, then it's not helping you at all. It's keeping you sick. And so the goal of all healing is to reduce fear. So instead of going, well, since my mind is the only cause of the sickness, maybe I should just not go to any doctors or take anything. But if that produces more fear in your mind, then actually that's not the right approach at the moment. So do the compromise approach. You tell yourself that this is what I do. I work these principles, I work them, and then I call the doctor. And then very often, and I mean very often, after I've worked these principles, and I mean worked them, and then I go to the doctor, usually the doctor goes, oh, well, you don't have a problem. Or here, take this, and it works. And so, when I'm using this first, then typically whatever I take from the outside for that physical condition tends to work. Do you see? Okay. So now, was it the medicine that really worked? No, but the outside agent, what the course calls the ministering agent, called the medicine, I allowed it to work because I realized where the suffering was really coming from. And because I was looking in the right place for the healing, then that means I really want it. And so now I take the medicine, and the medicine strangely works, whereas sometimes the medicine doesn't work for other people. Go figure. Yes.
I don't know if we're coming to this point, but I just feel like we're really focused on mind and body, and spirit is such an important piece for me to just tune into, like, what does my body need right now? What's going to bring my mind to peace? Sometimes it is an external thing, like a doctor or a medication. Sometimes it's, you know, a natural resource, or just going outside and taking a walk every day. It can make it can seem like such a small and insignificant thing. But it can make such a big shift when we tune into that mind-body-spirit connection. Not one without the other really creates that full alignment and peace.
Yes, that's beautiful. Just do whatever brings you peace in that moment. Go for that. Go for that, right? And then this section is saying, start with your mind, look into your mind, and see in what way your mind is currently suffering. Yeah, so just for a moment, forget about what the physical symptoms are, go within and go, in what way is my mind suffering right now? And the mind, it only suffers from one thing, and that's fear and guilt. You know, only if you feel fear and feel guilty, because that's what you learned about yourself, would your mind ever suffer. That's the only thing we ever suffer from in our minds. And so literally, you're not going to have to look far. You don't have to go do some deep, you know, psychoanalysis to see where and how your mind is suffering. All you need to do is go, wow, my mind is suffering. My mind feels a ton of fear, a ton of guilt, a ton of shame, and I'm suffering. My mind is suffering from that. And my mind, which is suffering so deeply from the fear, guilt, shame, etc., is secretly wanting to die. Start there. And then go take a walk, go call the doctor, go take your supplements, go do your massage, whatever it is that brings you most peace in that moment to do.
I think what you just said is also very important, in that is the acknowledgement that my mind is suffering. It's not digging for the suffering in my mind.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
That I'm just acknowledging my mind is suffering.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not re-injuring myself by going in and trying to dig out where it's suffering.
Exactly. Exactly. And you don't need to, because it's some form of fear and guilt that you learned. You know, that's it. You don't have to be like, well, when I was 3, you know, what happened to me? And now I need to go do some hypnotherapy to remember what happened to me. Okay. No, you don't, because number one, you know, it's expensive, and God would, the law of God would not say, if you have healing, you need to go pay for very expensive therapy. You know, that's not a law of God. For healing, you got to go pay. Okay. Nothing that's of God costs anything, by the way. Okay. So, then it says, now that we're on the paragraph that says, there are no laws except the laws of God. See that? There are, what paragraph number is it? 6. Thank you. There are no laws except the laws of God. This needs repeating over and over until you realize it applies to everything that you have made in opposition to God's will. Okay. Everything you've made in opposition to God's will is all the laws that you have made up that you have to obey in order to have happiness, health, and wealth. Those are all the things you have made up in opposition to God's will. First, I have to do this to be happy. Then I have to do this to be healthy. Then I have to do this to be wealthy. Those are all the laws that we set up to save the body, that we think would save us. And so we got to repeat this idea over and over and over until we realize that it applies to every senseless and meaningless law we made up about how we can be happy, healthy, and wealthy. Okay, that's how often we got to repeat it. So I would say we're going to be repeating it a lot. How about you?
Yes.
Every time you're like, oh, I got to do such and such to have some money. Oh, I got to do such and such to be safe. Oh, I got to do this and this and this to be loved. Oh, I got to do this to have relationship. Oh, I got to do this to be healthy. Tell yourself, I'm under no laws but God's. 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 Okay. You got to say it till you realize that it applies to all your strange and twisted laws that you've made up for what you have to do to be happy, healthy, and wealthy. Okay. Because God's will is that you have everything all the time, forever, no exception, no condition. You got that? God's will. God's will is this, that you and everyone have everything all the time, forever, whatever you need, no lack, no loss, no exception, no condition, no payment, for everything, forever. That's God's will. That you not lack for anything, that you have no need. And you don't have to pay for it, and you deserve it all. That's God's will. Isn't that crazy? The Course in Miracles says, when you say, God has given me everything for free, ego over. That's the end of the ego. The ego is the belief in lack and need, and there's not enough, and I gotta earn it, and I don't have it, and I gotta go get it, and I have to earn it, and then I have to work to keep it. That's the ego. And God's will, God's laws is, there is no lack. I've given you everything. I've given it to you forever. I've given it to everybody else also forever. No conditions, no exceptions, and no payment required. That's God's will, just in case you were wondering. What is God's will for me? That's what it is. Okay. God's not like, well, everything is mine, and you can have a little maybe if you obey all my strange and twisted laws. But I love you. That's the way we have conceptualized God. A greedy psychopath. A greedy murderous psychopath. Okay. So then it says, right, you got to say it over and over and over till you realize it applies to everything that you've made in opposition to God's will. Your magic has no meaning. Okay. All the strange and twisted laws you think you got to obey to have happiness, health, and wealth, that's your magic. He calls it your magic. I'll do this and then I'll get that. Oh, it'd be great. That's your magic. Your magic has no meaning. What your magic was meant to save does not exist. Only what your magic was meant to hide will save you.
Oh, explain that.
Okay. All the things I do outside me, all the things I think outside of me will save me, that's my magic. That's like, oh, I'll do this financially and then I'll be safe financially. Oh, I'll do this relationships and then I'll be safe relationships. Oh, I'll do this outside of me and then I'll be healthy. He said, all those things, those rituals, those rituals that we do, those are our magic.
What are they hiding? Yeah.
Oh, yes. And all the things that I do outside of me, all the things I think will save me, all that is meant to do what? To hide the mind. It's meant to save. What it's meant to save does not exist. All right. What my magic is meant to save is my body. All the things I do for happiness, health, and wealth is all for the body. He's saying all the magic that you, says all my magic was meant to save doesn't exist. The body doesn't exist. So I'm doing all this strange and twisted rituals to save what doesn't even exist, my body.
Hide a mind that's sick.
Yes, exactly.
Meant to hide what goes.
Only what my magic is meant to hide will save me. What is my magic meant to hide? My mind. You know, what is all the magic? I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then I got this plan, and I'm going to do this. That's all meant to hide, to mask what's really suffering, which is not my body, it's my mind that I have abused with guilt. I have abused my mind with guilt. Always telling my mind what's wrong with it, why it's not good enough, why I should feel guilty, why I should feel ashamed. That's what's suffering. And all that I do physically to make my body more comfortable is just hiding my mind that's really suffering. It's not my body that's suffering. My body is a dumb terminal. Is it? My body doesn't feel anything. My mind only feels. Okay, beautiful. So then it says the laws of God can never be replaced. Okay. So there's not going to be anything that the ego world comes up with that will replace the laws of God. And what's the laws of God? You deserve all happiness, all abundance, all sustenance, eternal life forever, without payment, without condition. And no law of the ego will ever replace that, no matter how cruel and diabolical and insane the laws the ego comes up with, like you got to have money unless you'll starve. You know, it will, no worldly so-called law of economics, medicine, whatever, will ever replace the laws of God. You know, no ego law can replace the law of God. If the law of God says you deserve to be happy, healthy, and wealthy right now without having to earn it, without having to do one thing you don't want to do, then nothing will ever replace that law. Nothing will ever come in and go, well, you accept for the IRS. You know, I don't know. Can God's law actually trump the IRS? Yes. Because no worldly law will ever replace the laws of God. It will never happen. No matter how diabolically genius the ego is. And so we will devote today to rejoicing that this is so. It is no longer a truth we would hide. Yet we realize instead that it is a truth that keeps us forever free. And realizing we are under no laws but God's. There's no other law that is higher than God's law. This is what will keep us free. Free forever. Not just free for a week. Free forever. I'm under no laws but God's. So only what God says is what's true for me. And nothing else can limit me unless I want it to. Unless I want to pretend that it can. I'm under no laws but God's is the truth that keeps us forever free. And so we devote today to rejoicing that this is true. I'm under no laws but God's. I'm not under the laws of economics. I'm not under the laws of the financial system. I'm not under the laws of medicine. I'm not under the laws of IRS. I'm under no laws but God's. Now, magic imprisons. So what did we say magic was? All those strange and twisted laws we think we have to obey. All those laws I got to do to be happy, healthy, and wealthy, besides just be myself. Those are magic, and magic always imprisons, but the laws of God make free. So the laws of God are something that show you that you're free, that happiness is free, you are free, your happiness is free, your joy and security is free. The laws of God is free, makes you free. I don't have to do all that. I don't have to do this and that and this and this and that and this and this and this and that. I don't have to do all that. I'm free. I don't have to do all that for happiness, health, and wealth. I'm free. God's laws make free, and all my magic imprisons. All my so-called laws imprison. The light has come because there are no laws but God's. We will begin the longer practice periods today with a short review of the different kinds of so-called laws we have believed we must obey. Okay, now we're going to do another little inventory of the so-called laws, our magic, that we believe we must obey. Okay, ready? Okay, so-called law number one that we believe we must obey. These laws would include the so-called laws of nutrition, of immunization, of medication, and of the body's protection in innumerable ways. That's the first so-called laws that we believe we must obey, that of Course in Miracles calls our magic. All right. And then it says, think further. Another so-called law we think we must obey is we believe in the so-called laws of friendship, of, quote, good relationships, which means reciprocity. Mm-hmm. Right. So the ego's definition, the ego's law of having good relationships is reciprocity. I do something for you, and then you do something for me. It's an exchange. Okay. See that? It's an exchange. That's the law of good relationship as you know, per the ego, is reciprocity. Okay. Not oneness, but you know, I do for you, and then you do for me, and then I do for you, and then you do for me. Okay, that was love. All right, we got a deal? Okay, great. That's love. I love you. No, that's a deal. That's, what do they call it? Exchange, transactional. Mm-hmm. That's what the laws of so-called good relationships of the world is transactional. It's an exchange. It's a bargain. Okay, made with guilt, but called by the name of love. I feel guilty enough to do what you want me to do, and you feel guilty enough to do what I want you to do. Because love. It's a match made in heaven. No, that's transactional. That's reciprocity. Okay. Then it says, and then the other so-called laws we believe we must obey is perhaps we even think that there are laws which set forth what is God's and what is yours. Mm-hmm. There's some strange and twisted laws. Mm-hmm. What's God's is everything, and what's yours is nothing, unless you obey. Yeah. And then you get a little, but it's going to cost you. But I love you. Okay. Many so-called religions, and the word religions here is in quotes, many so-called religions have been based on this, laws that set forth what is God's and what's yours. This is God, this is mine, I'm God, and this is yours. Many so-called religions have been based on these laws of what's God's and what's yours, but these religions whose laws are based on what's God's and what's yours, these religions would not save, but damn in heaven's name. That's what those religions are doing. All the religions, they're like, for you, God has everything, you have nothing, unless you beg God really nice and obey all these laws. That is a religion that does not save anybody. Those religions damn. They condemn, they imprison, but they do it in heaven's name. Oh, isn't that special? Woo, wait, that tells the truth about our religions, doesn't it? Okay. Yet these laws, these strange and twisted laws that sets off what's God's and what's yours, they're no more strange than any other so-called laws that you hold must be obeyed to make you safe. So the strange and twisted law that sets off that, what God has is separate from what I have, that's no more strange than me thinking that I need medicine to have health. So, yeah, I can't say, oh, those religions are just crazy. Well, I also believe the same thing, unfortunately, even though I'm not a religionist. I still also believe plenty of other strange and twisted laws, like I need stacks of green paper strips and metal discs or I'll starve, for instance. That's another strange, twisted law. Well, good news is there are no laws but God's. So dismiss all foolish, which means magical beliefs today, and hold your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice that speaks the truth to you. And when you listen in silence to the voice that speaks the truth to you, here's what you will be listening to. You will be listening to a voice that says, there is no loss under the laws of God. There is no loss under the laws of God. There's no reason for you to do without or go without or sacrifice anything because there is no loss. There is no lack. You will be listening to the voice that tells you payment is neither given nor received. Exchange cannot be made. There are no substitutes and nothing is replaced by something else. Why? Because God's laws forever give and they never take. That's what you'll be hearing when you quietly listen, when you hold your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice for God speaking to you. So instead of making your plans for how you're going to be safe and what you got to do, he says, why don't you try this? Hold your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice for God tell you, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to pay anything. You don't need to make any kind of exchange. You don't need to make any bargain. You don't need to make any sacrifice. You don't even have to do anything because God gives only. That's it. And never takes. That's what that voice that's what you will hear it telling you when you hold your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice for God in you. And that's what we're being told to do instead of making our plans to make ourselves safe, making our plans to save ourselves with something outside of ourselves. Here's what you can do instead. You can hear God saying, you don't need to do anything to receive all the love, all the happiness, all the joy, all the inspiration, all the support, all the supply that love knows you need when you're in a body. You don't have to do anything except accept. Are you willing to accept it? That's all you got to do. That's what the voice will be telling you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to change yourself. You don't have to make a deal. You don't have to make a payment. You don't have to change yourself. You don't have to get anything. You don't have to sacrifice anything.
I don't like this section. No,
Oh,
I do like it. I'm gonna try to practice it.
yeah.
I'm worried about stuff around the house.
Yeah.
It really is helpful.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now I can just.
Yeah. Just use it. Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here, so we're hearing the answer here. Okay. We've heard the problem for the first half of the class, right? Now we're hearing the answer. Instead of making your plans for your magic, for what you're going to do to save yourself, instead, hear the voice for God in your mind who tells you this and realize how foolish are the so-called laws you thought upheld the world that you thought you saw. And still do this. Listen further. So we're hearing the answer. Whenever you're like, oh, I'm imprisoned by all that I gotta do, I don't really want to do. Oh my God, lack is real. I'm such a failure. Instead of that, when you're tempted by that, listen in quiet stillness and listen to the voice for God tell you, realize how foolish so-called laws you thought have held the world, then listen further. This voice for God will tell you more. The voice for God will tell you about the love that God has for you. And the voice for God will tell you about the endless joy God offers you. And the voice for God will tell you about God's yearning for you, God's only creation, created as God's channel for creation, denied to God by your belief in hell. That's what you're going to hear. Okay, so you could waste your mental energy terrifying yourself about all the things you gotta do, all the sacrifices you gotta make, all the rules you gotta obey and follow in order to have the happiness, health, and wealth. Or door number 2, you could keep your mind, what does it say? Hold your mind in silent readiness to hear God's voice tell you the truth about yourself. You are only loved. You have no need. You deserve it all. God's given it to you. You are God's only love. God has given everything to you. God is endless. God is offering you endless joy. God yearns for you. And you are God's channel for creation. You have everything. You are everything. You don't lack for anything. You are everything. You could allow the voice for God to tell you that instead of making more plans that won't make you feel safe. They will make you feel less safe. Okay. So in other words, I'm almost done. In other words, and then it says, okay. So in other words, let us today open God's channels to God. That's us. God, I open myself to you today as your channel. I open myself to you, to God today. And let God's will, which is for you to have everything all the time, let God's will extend through us to everyone. Thus is creation endlessly increased, and God's voice will speak of this to us as well as of the joys of heaven, which God's laws keep forever limitless. So God's laws of heaven are limitless. In other words, you can have heaven now. You don't have to earn it. There is no limit on heaven for you. You can have it all right now. God puts no limit on the heaven that God wants for you. Okay? Now, we will repeat today's idea until we have listened and until we have understood that there are no laws but God's. Then we will tell ourselves as a dedication with which the practice period concludes, I am under no laws but God's. Okay, now I'm going to skip to, it tells us how many, it says do it 4 or 5 times an hour. Sure. 4 or 5 times an hour. All right. And then it says, use this idea whenever you are tempted to experience yourself as subject to any other laws throughout the day. So any other time, whenever you feel limited, like, oh man, I gotta do this to have that, and oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, loss is real. I can't have this unless I give that. Okay, anytime you're tempted to feel limited in the happiness, health, and wealth that you want and deserve, you need to tell yourself, I'm under no laws but God's. I'm under no laws but God's. Okay? And then it says, this is our statement of freedom from all danger and all tyranny. Okay. When you say I'm under no laws but God's, you are declaring your independence, your freedom from anyone or anything that would enslave you with senseless, laws about what you have to do, what you got to sacrifice, how you got to change yourself to receive the love, the happiness, health, and wealth that God has already given to you for free, forever. So anytime you're tempted to think, oh, I got to give this up to have that. Oh, here's what I got to do to have this. You need to say to yourself, I declare my freedom from that tyranny. That's tyranny. Tyranny says, you got to do this to get some of that. You know, that's tyranny. So when you hear, someone saying that God says, well, unless you do this and obey this, you can't get my love. That's tyranny. That's not love. Love has already given it all itself completely to us for free and does not ask for payment of any kind. No sacrifice. So when you are tempted to subject yourself to tyranny where someone says, or your belief system says, you got to do this in order to have that, recognize though that I'm under no laws but God's, and say no to the tyranny and the danger. And because when you say this, it's your acknowledgement that God is your creator and that you are saved. When you say, I'm under no laws but God, you're acknowledging that God is my creator, and because of that, I'm safe. God is my creator, so I'm safe. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to earn it. I don't have to work for it. I don't have to sacrifice for it. I don't have to wait for it. I don't have to work for it. God is my creator. God has given me everything, and so I'm safe. And I'm free. I'm free. All right. Woo, guys, let's give it to yourselves for hearing that deep, deep stuff. All right. Okay. Good job. Do you have any announcements you want to make?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I found out this morning that someone among us had a birthday today.
What?
What?
Someone among us had a birthday.
Could that be?
And so the first thing I want to do is wish our beloved Matt happy birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Matt.
We love
Happy
you so
continuation
much,
day.
and we're so thankful for all that you do here.
No doubt about that.
Yes, and so
No doubt.
congratulations on another year around the sun.
Yep.
So, yay. A couple of things it's been an interesting start to the new year.
Yeah.
Challenging. So I don't yet have out, but remind you that our next play shop is March 7th, and we are entering the real world.
Yeah, perfect.
Building community, conscious community, and with real world thoughts and principles. And so that's going to be very dynamic. So I will by next week have out the promotional material again, but it is from 10 to 4. We added a little bit of extra time on the 7th.